being a listening volunteer is a real privilege. I think that's the thing, because people will tell us all sorts of things, and it might be things that they've never shared with anybody else. So that puts us as volunteers in a very privileged position, because some of those things might be really quite difficult for them. I've learned lots and lots of things about people, really, but also about people in different circumstances, different situations. You understand that distress is distress, whatever your background and whatever your environment. But I've learned about people with different religious views. I've learned about people who've lived in different environments to me, who have got very, very different backgrounds to me, and we treat them all the same in that we don't judge people, we don't give advice, but it's hugely interesting, as well as just talking to different people. It's about building relationships with a person over just a very small period of time, and giving them space to be listened to, I guess. But the other side about learning about different environments and different communities that are very different to mine, different groups of people, that's lovely, because you never know what you're going to get every time you pick up the phone, really. The most rewarding calls sometimes are when maybe you feel you actually haven't done very much yourself, but at the end of that call, somebody says, "Thank you very much." And you might think, heck, what have I done? And all I may have said is, I understand what you're saying. That must have been really difficult for you. And just showing that empathy and listening and caring, and that might have been all that person needed. And I think it's interesting, if we take it back to your film, how the connection with the telephone operator, she builds a rapport on the phone, which is so helpful in actually sort of moving things forward, really. So yeah, it's all about connection. And but we have similar ones with the work that we do with Mind. We have perhaps longer term relationships with people here, but people will talk to us because they feel that we can help and that we will listen to them and we'll be supportive.
As an executive at Mind and Samaritans, what's your kind of the biggest challenging you're facing in your community at the moment, and how are you tackling it?
I suppose if we look at Mind in Guernsey, we have, we're a much, much smaller community than some of the local mines in the UK, but we have a lot of similar issues. So we see lots of people who have a whole range of issues that are really troubling them. So some of them, it might be around cost of living, for example. It could be about relationship breakdowns. It could be about problems at work. Is there one thing over and above the other? Probably not. But it's a whole mix of things. And I suppose the key to us is to try and find different ways that we can support people in different ways to make things available for them. I mean, we're not a crisis service. I mean, the Samaritans is somebody that people will phone in a crisis. But if we look at Guernsey Mind, we're not a crisis service, but we provide a range of things around trying to keep people as well as they can be, so that fewer people become unwell. So it's that very early intervention stuff that is important for us, whether that's through the training that we do or some of our lower level support that we, the various courses we run, or sort of therapeutic work that we do. But I think the issues that we have here in Guernsey are probably no different to anywhere else in the community. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are, really, really struggle, I think. We're very proud of something that we call the Walk of Hope. And that's it's a sunrise walk in Guernsey. We meet at a ruined castle about 3:30 in the morning, so it's all a bit eerie and atmospheric, and it's a 5-kilometre walk along the seafront to a sort of a community where there's some public bathing pools. It's a beautiful setting, and the idea is around raising awareness of suicide and suicide prevention. We had 600 people walked this year, which is great, and it's quite a new event, but it's about hope, and that there are people that can be supportive when people have difficulties. But the strap line, if I can use that expression, is walking out of the darkness and into the light. And what that has done, that walk, is around changing perceptions. It's about connecting with other people. It's about people feeling that they can talk and share as they walk along. But we've tried to actually run it as a community event. So I was just thinking, this This year we engaged with our local Girl Guiding Association, and because when you get to the end you get a cup of coffee and a croissant or something, and they were there, so they were actually doing the refreshments at the end, which was fab for them, because they can sign off for one of their guiding badges. But isn't it wonderful that it was a great community event? Lots of people connected, where that is held is a community venue, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we're trying to sort of work together with other people to really sort of move our sort of aims forward as well, and I think that's been a real success this year.